Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, beautiful, wonderful, amazing individual personality, you. Today, I would like to speak about the immense importance of faith, love, and hope. These forces are constructive, healing, and forward moving, and you have a glimmer, not only a glimmer really, but truly visions of where we have potential to truly unfold our inner being. But it is not in any means a naive and frivolous way of faith, love, and hope. It is faith, love, and hope in the face of a very, very real possibility that we might err too much in one or another direction. Now, this has occurred with our, removal of our threefold nature, becoming only dual when we truly are threefold. We have our soul, body, and spirit. And the spirit is working into the soul and body. We do work spirit actively within our soul and body. We are not either or, we are in balance with all, with balance with both. Now, with faith, love, and hope, you have a certain warmth and a certain forward moving that is tempered with reality, that is tempered with the many challenges and hindrances that we might want to overcome to, become a much more loving and nurturing humankind. To be able to have faith, love, and hope, one needs to build inner strength, foundation, and knowledge, enlightened by and tempered by spirit. If we do not have the spiritual, you can never explain the spiritual. You see, only spirit can truly describe spirit. So if we truly try to explain the spiritual within a materialistic view, you will not come very far. You will only describe the reflective processes of what the spirit is doing. So that means materialistic results is the occurrence of spiritual facts. It's a reflection of spiritual facts. So whatever moves, whatever is forming is spiritual facts, spiritual realities. Nothing can occur by itself. There's not even a single example of that. Except, you can imagine what I'm talking, the highest of the high, the Godhead. And he didn't just pop up by, he has always been there. Now, our feeble intelligence cannot even start to comprehend this. But it is reality. We are living in eternity after all. But nothing occurred by itself, ever. So, bringing life, bringing love, faith, and hope into this, infusing it from our own inner being, which we will have to do, because the moral you do not find out in nature. The only time you actually can find morals out in nature is if human beings are included in there. And we are not nature alone, we are also spirit. We are higher beings, but condensed and crystallized down into physical forms, temporarily, so that we truly can learn from our specific incarnations. Remember, we are not living here forever. We often forget that we will pass through the gate of death, and often it is an intentional forgetfulness as to become frivolous. Now, we are not meant to live on the other side either, where we are constantly paranoid of passing. But there is a balance here, knowing in moving forward we are going to pass. But passing through the gate of death is a birth into the spiritual world, just like incarnating into physical bodies means passing through the gate of death in the spiritual world. You see? So it is a rebirth constantly. When we pass, now moving forward, we will be birthed into the spiritual world. When we come back here, we die in the spiritual world, are birthed into the physical world. So it is just a continuation and a change in our faculties and our inner being. And we do not have this condensed down individual type of body that is physical. So we cannot consume anymore and such. Now, this is what what is considered as hell is kama loka. That means when we pass, we will have to go through everything we went through in our physical life backwards in a threefold speed. That means 3 times as fast. So we see the third of our life pass before us backwards. We will feel every emotion that we exposed on others. And the same with others. They will feel the emotions and the pain they exposed on others. So this really is about, if we have become too happy with materialism, if we have become too obsessed with physical material living, it will be a hell in Kamaloka, because you constantly long for the physical realm. It's like wanting to have a cigarette or wanting to have a coffee. Now, a coffee is not that bad, but any single thing that if one does not entertain oneself with it, one will have one heaven of a time, right? One can only come up with a few examples there, but still, it is still in alignment with things. Now, with faith, love and hope, you are not so intimately and immensely bound with the physical. You see, our physical body is a sense-perceptible organ. Our whole being is a sense organ. Every single thing around us we absorb that is cosmic and earthly and everything. It is truly a sense-perceptible organ that for our spirit. Just like our eyes were made by the light, for the light. So, faith, love and hope, I think they speak for themselves, these. Faith through our thinking, and faith has to be deepened and strengthened by knowledge. You cannot have blind faith, not anymore. That is laziness. On the other hand, you need to have love, active, chosen, freedom love from our emotions, our feeling body, emotional body, and hope from our will. Having hope that all of mankind, every single one, that chooses so themselves in freedom, will redeem ourselves. I am included in here, boom, and grow into the spiritual world. You see, all of this material substance will come alive again. It has been alive before. It has been more of what is mineral, what is physically mineral today, was not visible in earlier times. It has, in earlier times, only a plant-like that also is wood-like, but also is stone-like in a sense, were our basis for ground. And we also were more swimming in our atmosphere than we were walking physically upon it. We were more watery beings in earlier times, but we have condensed down more and more. We have even been only pure heat beings. From heat, and then even airy beings, and then watery beings, and now physical earth beings. But we are going again to change the substance. So the substance will be more sublime, more light, and we will become more Jupiter-like. We will blow up and become more gaseous again. And in the end, we will become sun beings. But this is, of course, far into the future. But we always prepare. We are always moving in an eternal development, eternal evolution, no predestination. This was just an example of stages, because we will never stop. This is the purpose of the universe. Evolution, development. But not physical development, this physicality will fall away. We need to stop being so obsessed with it, to find truly what is important, what is worthy, what is truly self-worthy beyond the material. And that is fully possible. Seriously, it is fully possible. As I mentioned in the earlier videos, we are all made equal, no matter how much you own. All the physical things you have accumulated in this lifetime will fall away, and you will incarnate in a different country and have no fruits of that labor. But every spiritual fruits you have developed, every single spiritual inner understandings, comprehension, love, faith, and hope, all of these things you will take with you as rudimentary foundation for your next incarnation. So if we do not do anything, we will lag behind in the next development. And that is but truth. It is because we need to constantly infuse ourselves with development, faith, love, hope. Knowing that our development leads to good. Knowing that evil is by no means even remotely close to good. It never was. There was a time when we considered that good and evil should be equal to a certain point, and still it wasn't. Think about this. In the Persian times, we had Ahura Mazda or Ormuzd and Angra Mainyu or Ahriman. That was two brothers born out of Sarwana Akarana, the Godhead. But Angra Mainyu wanted to become leader because he was firstborn. But who did become leader here? And why did he become a leader? It was Ormuzd, Ahriman, Ormuzd or Ahura Mazda, which became leader. Because Father loves good. He loves the beautiful. He loves the truthful. He loves the warmth. And hence he gave the younger brother the leadership. That was just a symbolic example of this. But it has happened and occurred many times. It is about the warmth, you know? That's the best way of describing it. So hold faith, love, and hope. Hold your hopes up, hold your good nature, but perceive the ugly too. Perceive the many things that are thoroughly ugly on this earth. Because there is ugliness on this earth. We cannot put everything into beautiful category without having a certain... You can see ugly as beautiful, but only if the ugly is honestly ugly. That means they are visibly, openly ugly. If they pretend to be something they are not, that is ugly. But if they are ugly, you see what I mean here? It's hard to explain it, because when they are openly ugly, at least you can contend with them with an honest and equal ground. That was just an example, but you get my drift here. So, I think I will leave you with this today. It was a little helter-skelter, but if nothing else, free speaking like this is what it is. It is creative, it is a little chaotic, but that is what we also do. We structurize any imagination, intuition, and inspiration as best as we can. And the best way of doing it is practicing. Practicing. And that is how you become good at things. So, being honest, truthful, loving, nurturing, warm, inclusive, understanding, compassionate, all of these words point towards something good, something high, something moral. And the moral you can only find through the Christ in Devakan. It is an emanation from the higher spirit lands. And you will never find it down here on physical earth, except in human beings. Human beings are capable of it. Either your head wants to say no or not. Your head has no say in this. Your head is a backwards development. Your head is coming from our animalistic earlier nature. But our feelings, if we follow our feelings, tempered and enlightened by our head, directed by our head, And not having our head our leader, but our morals our leader. And then have the head follow thereafter. Now we are into something. But use your head as your leader and everything becomes cold. And you know that is true. Because the head has no emotions. Your head has no warmth. Your thoughts are dead shadow images. But your feelings, now that is something different. But it is up to you to decide and to find out about, right? This is why we do this. Because it's worth it. Because redemption. Because love. And when you love, you have a higher realm on your side. Because they live in love. And they want us to love. So, love. But with carefulness. With justice, judgment, courage, prudence, faith, love, and hope. And you will not be possessed and taken over by pride, sloth, lust, gluttony. Pride, sloth, lust, gluttony, greed, wrath, and envy. All of them are spiritual beings that if you feel it and you are consciously in it and letting yourself be swayed by them, you are being possessed by one of these beings. It is obvious. Every hateful feeling, every hateful out reaction of is possession, even if for a tiny moment. Now, this is by no means earth-shattering or anything, but it is reality. So, faith, love, and hope. Immerse yourself in it. Allow yourself to have grounds for it. Allow yourself to let it grow and do not let every single suffering sway you so that you ask a million questions and are in a constant bogged down fear and skepticism. You need to be strong in this. I love you so much. May Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, Michael, ancient masters of all, ancestors from every incarnation, bless, protect, guide, and love you, you beautiful being, you beautiful individual, unique being you, on your unique, amazing, beautiful path to development, morals, love, and may you be provided for by all that you need. Amen, and thank you. Goodbye.